Hi, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Health and Healing series. Because I am here in beautiful Montana. I am here for work. I thought it would be a cute little scene change if I had the gorgeous mountains in the background. If I didn't say it already, Happy New Year, January 1st. Reporting live from the Yellowstone Club. For today's episode, I figured a lot of you are going to try, New Year's resolutions, all of that fun stuff, setting intentions. So I really, especially this month, want to help you with all of the things that kind of go with taking the first step and trying new things. So one thing I know can be very, very overwhelming is supplements. And when I say they can be very overwhelming, I mean they can be very overwhelming. Is all the supplements that I bring with me to Montana. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Okay, so these are all of my supplements that I take pretty much every day, with the exception of my pre-workout, which I do not take when I am not working out. Obviously, pre-workout, before your workout, all the fun things. I'm gonna go over every single one of these. I'm gonna go over how to take them, different ways to take them, how I take them, also like how to look for like a nutrition label and all of the fun things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First thing you need to know about supplements is how to look at a nutrition label and what to look out for. So biggest thing that I look for is just making sure that they are clean ingredients and who is backing them. So my favorite brand obviously is Raw Nutrition. It is Sebum's brand. I know Laura Lee takes them as well. So two athletes that I really look up to both take these, so I feel very comfortable taking these. I've been taking raw supplements for, I don't even know, a while now, and my digestion with them is great. Pretty clean ingredients as well. Obviously, there are some products that are a little bit less clean than others when you're looking at things like sucralose and maltodextrin, all of those artificial sweeteners. It's kind of like, pick your battles. I love my sugar-free Torani in my coffee. That is an artificial sweetener. My body handles them pretty well. Some people try to stay on like the cleaner side, and that's totally fine too. So kind of just like, how clean do you want it to be? This brand I think is pretty clean. Looking at the ingredients list, when you look at an ingredients list, if you do not recognize something, look it up on Google. Honestly, 90% of my knowledge as far as supplements goes is like from my certification, but also research I've done on my own, looking at Google Scholar and finding peer-reviewed journals on the supplement brands themselves, as well as just like, what are the benefits of greens powder? What are the benefits of protein powder? And then also like different forms. So like when it comes to multivitamins, people have gummies, people have powders, I take pill form. So like finding the benefits of the different things. So when you are looking at a label, one thing I always look out for is GMP. That stands for Good Manufacturing Practice. This is something, because supplements aren't nearly as regulated as many other things that we consume are, GMP basically just certifies from start to finish on the manufacturing side of things that everything is consistently quality ingredients. Everything that, the nutrition label says is in it is actually in it and within those amounts. It makes sure that, the quality itself is very high. It just minimizes risk. So to be honest, when you do have that GMP logo on it, you are going to pay an extra dollar amount because those companies that do GMP have to pay for those standard practices to be regulated. Another thing to look for is lab testing. So sometimes it will have it on the actual label itself. Sometimes it will just have it online, like underneath the product description or on the About Us for the company. Go ahead and take a look at that. I know Raw has it on their actual product description, but the lab testing just ensures that each batch that is going out is, again, a quality ingredient. And that is, again, another kind of boost on the price. So when you look at products like Raw that are like $50+ for protein, when you could buy some on Amazon for 20 to 30, this is, you know, quality ingredients. They're being tested, they're being regulated. You know what you're putting in your body is good for you. Whereas something you buy off of Amazon for 20, 30 bucks, is it actually, like, are you actually getting that protein in? Are you actually getting the certain percentages that are within the nutrition label? So like when I look at this, wherever it is, here it is, right? So it has different vitamins and biotin and potassium, sodium, protein. Like, are you actually getting the percentages, milligrams, grams, whatever? Who's to say? When it comes to what you're putting in your body, if you are going to spend money on a gym membership, if you are going to spend money on the grocery store to get quality foods, why would you not also spend money to make sure that the supplements that you're using are quality as well? Anything that I put inside of my body that my body needs to digest and process and all of the good things, 9 times out of 10, I want it to be quality things. Am I going to go to Taco Bell once in a very, very great while? Well, I do love their Crunch Wrap. So yeah, I'm a human being and I'm all about the balance. But I try to stay clean for the most part. I try to make sure everything I put in my body is pretty quality as well. So, you know, I have my vices as everyone does, but supplements, I will never ever try to cut corners around as far as my budget goes. There are things that I will, you know, take the cheaper option. Food and supplements, not one of them. So let's go ahead and get started and just dive into what all of these are. So I'm gonna kind of just go through like what I take in a day, kind of like start to finish. And also like, where do you get started? This is a lot of stuff. Can be very overwhelming, and I did not, you know, straight out the gate when I started my fitness journey in 2017, take all of these products. I slowly built them in. Creatine actually, in fact, just started in October of this past year in 2023. So not all of these were, you know, started right at the beginning. If I would say anything, the very first thing you should be taking is a multivitamin. So let's dig deeper into that. Okay, look at that. A lot less overwhelming, right? So this is my vitamin counter. I have like my AM, my PM. I take a 4 capsule, so 2 in the morning, 2 at night. This increases the bioavailability because it is spread throughout the day. So the absorption of nutrients and, well, like micronutrients is throughout the day and at night, rather than just like front loading it all in the morning. My body is able to kind of process it a little bit better, digest it a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely not a beginner step to go an AM, PM. Maybe just start with an AM. Or if like you're better at night, then just like in the evening and 1 or 2 capsules. This thing saves my life. I put it next to my coffee maker because you know I am not going to go a day without my coffee. So you know I am never gonna miss at least my AMs. So if we're being completely transparent, let's look at this. I think you can kind of see through this. As you can see, I am much better about taking my AMs, and there's like a couple nights that I have forgotten. So I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I almost never miss an AM. Yes, I do miss a PM here and there, but that's mainly because of my work schedule. I'm normally away at work, and so what I actually started doing back in Arizona is I have like a little baggie of these guys, and I have them in my fanny pack for work, so I just remember to take them with dinner, because you do, like, I recommend any type of supplement unless it's directed otherwise. Take it with some kind of carbohydrates or a meal. That way you're just digesting it better. You're not putting something in your body on an empty stomach. Just my recommendation. I don't go crazy on the pills. I don't have like 8 different ones every single day. I just have a women's sport multivitamin and my allergy pill. So honestly, I don't even know if I would count this as a supplement. This is just because I have terrible allergies. Like, you can literally hear it like the worst. But yeah, so I just take a multivitamin. This is a women's sport multivitamin. Oh my gosh, multivitamin from NutraBio. I have a great time with it. I did my blood work. It came back. Everything was good. When it comes to, you know, a multivitamin, just, you know, generic versus women's or like an athletic one, it's just what are they focused more on. So with this one, the ranges of micronutrients are more focused on women's RDA, which is the recommended dietary allowance of certain micronutrients. So as women, something we need to look for is like calcium for our bone density, since we are susceptible to osteoporosis. So they're going to make sure that there is the proper amount of calcium in here, as well as iron. A lot of women, and me being vegan as well, like are susceptible to anemia, which is just like from not having enough iron, right? It's a blood thing. So making sure that there is enough iron, all of the fun things. The other thing that I do like about this, like magnesium, this has 100 milligrams of magnesium. When you are an athlete, magnesium is something you need to look for. Selenium is really, really great as well when we are looking at, you know, athletic performance and stuff. Selenium is a big one as well. I think that this is a super great product. As you can see, she has seen better days because I bought a lot of these supplements right before this trip and I had not opened them, took them on the airplane, and we are in very, very high altitude. So a lot of my supplements got squished, and note to self and note to future travelers. If you buy a supplement that you are planning on taking with you, open the bottle first and then travel, and this is less likely to happen because this has never happened to me before. And like 5 of my products were like completely squished like this because I didn't open it. But yeah, the other thing I really like about this is they are vegetable capsules. So this is a vegan safe product. You know, for my vegan girlies and guys out there, you do need to be careful because not all products, as far as like the vessel that they use to give you the supplements, are vegan. So making sure that it is a vegetarian capsule. I prefer the pills over anything because that is going to be like probably like the most superior for digestion. If you have gummy vitamins, babe, no. I honestly, like, I will get off of the soapbox. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but just as far as like how you absorb and digest it, you're just not getting the nutrients as well as you would like through a pill versus a gummy. So let's, you know, get the gummies out of there. Get on some kind of like multivitamin that is, I prefer the pill form over anything. I don't really know. Some people have powders. Hello. Some people have powders, but yeah, so that is, you know, my soapbox. This is, you know, when we talk about a strong house, how do we lay our foundation? How do we make sure it is strong as possible? The first step is a multivitamin. So if you are new to the fitness world and new on your fitness journey, please start with a multivitamin and habit stack. Put it next to something that you do every single morning where you also have like water or some kind of liquid nearby to drink it with. So I put mine next to my coffee, but if you make breakfast every morning, put it there. If you are terrible about eating breakfast or you don't drink coffee, maybe put it next to your water bottle, put it next to your bed, have a glass of water like at your bed so that you remember to take it in the morning and, you know, morning and or night, whatever. So that is multivitamins. Let's go ahead and continue our stacking. So when you have become a pro at taking multivitamins, or maybe you already are, the next thing that I take every morning is my greens. So this is the brand Bucked Up. I'm not gonna lie, I hate to say it, I'm really not that big of a fan. I thought that I would be. This was like a last minute purchase because I didn't feel like driving 30 minutes to go get my normal greens that are the All Max. That product, fantastic. big fan. I get I think it's the chocolate one. I think it's just chocolate. Or it's like cocoa or something like that. But I will go ahead and link that and picture all the good things so you can see that. But I take a greens every single morning. That is also before my coffee because I want to get something in my body before I let the coffee beans hit my stomach. But yeah, greens every single morning. If you have like a poor digestion, this has definitely, I've seen quite an improvement on my digestion since I have started taking greens. It has a great list of different fruits and vegetables that they put together. I will say, keep in mind that you are losing a little bit of the nutrients since it is like a ground up processing powder form. But all the good things as far as a green powder goes. It also boosts immunity, which you get from like the citrusy fruits. It's going to help with like your energy levels. And I think that it has helped my athletic performance, just like as far as like everything just feels regulated. Everything just feels better and cleaner. If you're bad about taking your fruits and vegetables, you know, this is a great way to at least get a little bit in. Some is better than none, right? So if you're not good about eating vegetables and fruits, at least you have this. I always recommend, I mean, I'm vegan. I literally live off of plants, so I'm pretty good as far as that goes. But I do like this, you know, just to make sure that I'm getting all the nutrients that I need. And on top of my multivitamins, hitting my micronutrients for sure. As far as green powders go though, honestly, like the Bucked Up one isn't that bad. It is actually like, I think extremely clean for a greens powder. A lot of people try to like make sure it tastes good because people are like, oh, it tastes like dirt and they can't down it. This one does not taste like dirt. It doesn't taste like, you know, the greatest ever, but it's flavored with stevia, as opposed to like sucralose and maltodextrin, which I would prefer stevia over those because it is definitely a lot easier for your body to digest. This is the apple cinnamon flavor. Yeah, honestly, like I like it. I just like my Almax more so. That's really it. All right, greens are done. Let's get into protein powder. This one is going to be a very quick overview since I think most people do know quite a bit about protein powder. I do have 2 servings of protein powder a day just because they are so versatile. So it's not that I'm vegan and I can't hit my protein, like, you know, whatever. It's that I really enjoy the meals that I have with the protein powder. I'm not like having 2 protein shakes a day. I use my chocolate for my protein oats and I use the vanilla for my either like protein pancakes or protein fluff that I put on rice cakes, depending on, you know, bulk / prep / just whatever I'm in the mood for the day. I usually also have a peanut butter protein powder, but we just bought these for the trip so that I would have plenty of protein powder and not have to worry about running out. The biggest thing that I like about protein powder, besides the fact that it's so versatile, is it really does make it so easy to hit your protein goal. So if you're struggling to hit your protein goal, like this is super, super easy. And you, like I said, like I put it with my oatmeal, you can put it honestly in anything that's liquid based and hit your protein goals. It's super easy if you just want to throw it in water and take it to go. Maybe you want to make ice cream with it. Maybe you want to make, you know, like a frozen yogurt thing. One other thing I do is I have a Kite Hill Greek yogurt. So it's like, I think like 17 grams of protein, and I'll throw a little bit of protein powder in it, maybe some blueberries, some granola. So that's really good. Maybe I'll have like cereal. So I'll do like my Ripple milk that's higher protein with a little bit of this guy and like a cereal or granola or whatever. Again, super, super versatile, super convenient. You can put it in just about anything, making cookies, brownies, literally like the list goes on, muffins. And there are so many brands out there and like 1,000,001 flavors. I have seen the craziest flavors like lemon blueberry muffin flavor, cinnamon toast crunch flavor. Like I've seen like maple waffle flavor. Raw has like a ton of options as well. So you can get whey protein isolate or just grass-fed whey, vegan protein, the options are honestly limitless. And the other thing that's really nice about protein powder is you're getting all the protein with lower carbs, lower fats. This one has 20 grams of protein with 4 carbs and 2.5 fats. I have seen and taken, you know, ones that have even less than that on the carbs and fats. If you are struggling to hit your carb goal, there are also mass gainers that have like, oh my gosh, I've seen some that have like 250 grams of carbs in them, which is more carbs than I eat in a day. But I've had friends that take mass gainers that have anywhere between 90 and 250 grams of carbs. So when you are in a bulk and your carbs are like 400 to 1600 grams, mine have never gotten that high. And so I'm not saying, you know, yours will or yours should be. Everyone is different. Everyone's body is different, but they can be that high. And chewing gets exhausting. It really does. Like when I go post show and I kind of like, I don't track and I just eat whatever I want, my jaw literally gets sore because it's not used to chewing that much food. So like that's a really easy way to make sure you're getting all your carbohydrates in and you're not feeling so heavy and chewing all the time. You know, throwing oats and bananas, making a smoothie, all of the fun things. Protein, super, super easy. I honestly like when it comes to like, you know, you have your foundation, I would almost argue that this is like a foundation plus. Like once you've mastered this, the next thing to incorporate would be a protein powder if you're comfortable with that, and it just makes it easy to hit your protein goal. If you prefer to eat your calories versus drink them, you know, adding just a little bit of this into something that you're eating, again, you can bake it into things and hit the protein goal. So protein powders, check. EAAs, you can also take BCAAs. So EAAs are essential amino acids. BCAAs are branch chain amino acids. Amino acids are so great for muscle recovery. This thing saves the legs. I am telling you, when I am so fatigued, even on rest days, I will drink this. I drink this during my workout, but EAAs and BCAAs are great to drink before or after a workout, or honestly anytime during the day. This one is the kiwi blueberry flavor. I have tried many, many flavors, and a lot of BCAAs or EAAs are super, super sweet. This one has a little bit of sweetness, but it's not overly sweet, which when it comes to supplements, I feel like it's like either unflavored or way too sweet, and this is such a good like in between. And it says kiwi blueberry, but to be honest, I don't even know what I would say it tastes like. It just kind of tastes like a little bit of a fruity drink, to be honest, and it doesn't have like that sour like, whoa, okay, that's like sweet, that's tart, whatever. Like it's a muted fruity like flavor. So kiwi blueberry, can't recommend that flavor enough. Big, big fan. But yeah, so when we are breaking down our muscles, BCAAs and EAAs are so great because the amino acids are going to help with that muscle recovery. I take 20 grams. The serving size is like, I think 12.6 grams. I take 20 grams. Honestly, that's just what my coach prescribed for me. So whenever it comes to supplements, and I will say this again at the end, but please always talk to some kind of health professional before adding any of this in. Anytime you add anything into your diet, especially supplementation, there are always going to be some kind of side effects, whether it's as mild as like GI, like bloating or a little bit of gas, to like severe things like interaction with medication, or if you're pregnant, diabetes, all of those kind of things. So please always talk to whatever healthcare professional you lean on as far as your nutrition or diet goes. They are fantastic, again, for the muscle recovery. They always help me with my soreness. And this is also one of those things where I don't think you notice it when you're taking it, but I certainly notice when I don't take it. I don't ever not take it, but I used to like not be the greatest about taking it. And I would definitely be a lot more sore when I did not take it. Now, besides EAAs and BCAAs, which I would say like these are the foundational, this is going to be like accessories. So master these first, then add in the fun stuff if you want to. These are not essential things for your fitness journey whatsoever. These, I would say, like if you're budgeting and trying to slowly introduce multivitamin greens protein powder, or multivitamin protein powder greens, depending on like your ability with vegetable intake. But EAAs, BCAAs, I think are great, but absolutely not necessary. You can also take an intra-workout carbohydrate, rather than drinking this during your workout. I don't have it with me because I'm not taking it right now. I think my intra-workout is like 20 grams of carbohydrates. It's just a carbohydrate powder. And I actually noticed that I didn't need to take pre-workout when I had my intras because I was replenishing my carbohydrates. I was replenishing that glucose, that availability of energy throughout my workout. So towards the end of the workout, I still felt like I had enough energy like I did at the beginning. So I stopped taking pre-workout when I had intra. However, again, like I prefer to eat my carbs rather than drink them. And in my reverse, I'm at 190 grams of carbs a day. So yes, I could probably afford it. But I've just been noticing my cravings are still a little bit crazy. So I would rather just have that be for food and drink this during my workout. If you do take intra-workout carbs, obviously, like I would not recommend having, like mixing them just because like that's a lot of liquid and maybe like the flavors won't taste great. I know raw, their intra-workout is unflavored, so you absolutely probably could mix them. But I also like sipping on things throughout the day. So like I used to do like intra during my workout and I would drink my EAAs like later in the day, or if I was super sore at the beginning of the day. So intra-workout carbohydrates, you know, you can have that carbohydrate powder. A lot of people also do like applesauce or honey or like some kind of candy like gummies. I used to do like the cuties, like the little oranges or pineapple, any kind of citrus fruit, something that's light and quick digesting, you know, you just kind of munch on between like sets or exercises, and you're kind of like, as you're burning off the glucose and using that energy for your workout, you now are replenishing it so that throughout the workout, you're not fatiguing as much. Next thing I have to talk about is pre-workout. So this one is probably like the most overwhelming as far as like what to do about it, because there are so many different, you know, things out there. I know Raw itself has like a million different types of pre-workout. So they have the essential pre-workout, they have the savage pre-workout, the super savage pre-workout. I guess they kind of like play on CBum's list. So the super savage, like I'm not gonna do it because I'm just gonna say super savage pre-workout. They have the raw pre, they have the raw pre-extreme, they have Christopher's Secret stuff. I feel like there's like one more that I'm missing right now. But yeah, there's also non-stims and, you know, different types of pumps. So step one, when you are looking at what to take pre-workout, and again, this is part of the accessory, absolutely not necessary. I have many, many friends who just drink like black coffee as their pre-workout, and that's great too. So figure out, do you want caffeinated or non-caffeinated? If you want caffeinated, there are pre-workouts that go, you know, as low as like 25 to 50 milligrams of caffeine. I've seen things as high as like 400 and 450 grams, or sorry, milligrams, 450 milligrams of caffeine. So figuring out how many milligrams of caffeine you need is probably like a starting point, and then you can kind of figure out what else you want. This one, the essential pre-workout, is the most probably affordable as far as their pre-workout selection goes. For Raw, this one has 150 milligrams of caffeine, but what I also really like is that Raw has done like, oh, you can take 1 scoop or 2 scoops, and then done the nutrition label of like, this is for 1 scoop, this is for 2 scoops. So 1 scoop, 150 milligrams of caffeine, 2 scoops, 300 milligrams of caffeine. So maybe on like my full lower body day where I'm hitting like a lot of different heavier lifts, I might do 2 scoops. To be honest with you, I kind of like go happy middle. I probably end up taking closer to 200 milligrams because I'll just get like a scoop and like it'll definitely be overloaded and I'll just dump it in. I don't really like, I don't measure out, oh, like I have to have 13.7 grams or like, you know, scrape it off the top to make sure that it's perfect. I'm just scooping it and throwing it in there and kind of eyeballing it. There are days that I do not take pre-workout, especially if I have a later lift. For me personally, I do not take any caffeine after 4 p.m. I honestly try to stay away from it after 3 p.m. because your girl does not sleep if I have caffeine after like 3 or 4 p.m. Some people have the 12 p.m. cutoff. I work a split shift. Your girl needs a little energy boost before the second half. So yes, I do 1 coffee a day and a pre-workout a day on lifts, or I'll have 1 to 2 coffees if I'm not lifting that day. There are days, and probably more so than I would like to admit, where I have 2 coffees and pre-workout, but it just depends on the day. And I am having a great reset right now, so I have a feeling when I get back from Montana that I will try to cut down my caffeine. So I will say this again at the end of the video, but my goal for 2024 is to chill it on the caffeine, because I definitely developed like kind of a, I wouldn't say an addiction. I love the taste of coffee now. So I've been trying to do, like, if I have a coffee and I want a second one, it's not for the caffeine. I've noticed like it's not that I want the caffeine boost. I like the taste of my coffee, so I've been doing like decaf and I've been just fine. So 2024 goal for me is to like cut down severely on my caffeine. So I'll probably be switching over to a lower caffeinated pre-workout soon. But let's get back on topic because I just went on a whole tangent. So yes, now that you have figured out if you want stim or non-stim pre-workout, let's talk about the stimulant first. So you've decided you want something between the 50 and 450 milligrams of caffeine thing. There are lots of things on this nutrition label that you need to look at. L-citrulline is normally at the top of your nutrition label. What L-citrulline is it dilates your blood vessels. So it increases the efficiency that your body is able to have the blood flowing. So if I am, getting my juicy bicep curls in, there's more blood flowing to my biceps because I have taken that L-citrulline. I think for athletes, the RDA is closer to like the 6,000 mark. I'm saying 6,000. 6,000 milligrams or 6 grams. The essential pre-workout only has 4 grams in it. So again, when I take my heaping scoop, I'm probably having closer to 5 grams, but getting closer to that 6, I think the RDA, if you are not an athlete, is around the 4 mark. So this is still great for you. But yeah, so when you have your blood vessels more dilated, I think earlier, I really hope I did not say diluted, but if I did, dilated. So it's wider, there's more blood flow, it's more efficient, you're getting more oxygen and nutrients to the muscles. So as you're working out, say you're kind of like gassed after an hour of lifting or 45 minutes of lifting, this is going to increase that time. So maybe not necessarily endurance, but because you're getting more oxygen and nutrients to that muscle through that blood flow, you're feeling like you can probably lift for a little bit longer. The next thing that a lot of people talk about is beta-alanine. So that is like a big, everyone talks about beta-alanine and they talk about the itchies, but what really is beta-alanine, right? So in your pre-workout, and I know a lot of pre-workouts have a different amount, the essential one has 3.2 grams or 3,200 milligrams of beta-alanine, which honestly, for me personally, is definitely a little bit higher than I typically enjoy. I get a lot of itchiness on the backs of my hands. That's where I feel it. I don't feel it anywhere else. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I feel like my face is gonna scratch off. I know for the Bucked Up brand, they use deer velvet, which is what helps their antlers grow or something like that. And that I do not take. A, that's not vegan, and B, I don't want my face to feel like it's going to itch off. So I don't love how the beta-alanine feels, but some people do. That's where you feel that pump, by the way. So when people talk about the pump, it's usually from the beta-alanine. But yeah, so picking out your pre-workout based on that. You can also get beta-alanine as a supplement in itself if you don't want to take pre-workout and you just want beta-alanine. So you just want the pump, but you don't want to feel the caffeine. That would be like a non-stim version of pre-workout that you could absolutely take. So I just put this in 10 ounces of water, and I typically will take it about 30 minutes before my workout, sometimes less depending. So here in Montana, it takes me about 20 minutes to get to the gym that I use. There is one just down the street, so that's different. Just down the street. It's down the road. I don't really know how to refer to it properly, but the one that I normally go to is about a 20-minute drive, still within the club resort. So I will drink this, and then in a few minutes, like, I would head out, and that's about a 30-minute time. I definitely feel the itchies about 10 minutes into it on the backs of my hands, and it goes away by the time I get to the gym. As far as non-stim pump, you know, whatever's go, there are many different products out there, but, you know, L-citrulline should still be a product, like, ingredient that is in there on your non-stim. Beta-alanine is usually in there as well. When you have a non-stim, they're gonna have like potassium and sodium and stuff like that, which is gonna help. Like, you know, a lot of people put salt in the foods before their workouts. I know I personally do, and it just helps with that muscle contraction. So yeah, that is pre-workout. This is the mystery flavor. I liked it so much. I literally have 3 tubs of this now. So 1 is here and 2 are at home. I don't even know like what I would say it tastes like. It's like honestly similar to the idea of like, it doesn't really have like, it does have a flavor, but it doesn't. I wouldn't say it's unflavored at all, but it's not like in your face. I used to be obsessed with the orange flavor. Because it tastes like Sunkissed. So if you do like the sweeter, definitely go there. I think it was like the peach mango they released was like a little bit too much for me. And they have one more, the watermelon one. And I've said this before on my YouTube videos, but I am not a watermelon girly. Nope, not a watermelon girly. I don't like it. And usually when it's flavored as watermelon, it's just they go way overboard on the sweetness. So this one is a great option if you're not a huge like in your face, like kind of like sweetness kind of person. Big fan of whatever the mystery one is. It is a mystery to me, and I drink it every day for my workouts. So if you know what you think this tastes like, please let me know, because I cannot put my finger on it. The last thing to go over is creatine, and I have my Mio water drops, because when you take creatine, you should probably be taking it with some kind of carbohydrate, sugary drink, or meal, because the carbohydrates are going to help with your absorption. When people start taking creatine, a lot of like the biggest common thing I hear other people complain about is GI distress. This is a natural supplement. I am a natural athlete. This counts, like I'm good to take it as a natural athlete. But just keep in mind, especially if you have a sensitive stomach, that it can cause some GI distress. I do have a sensitive like GI tract, so I actually started with just taking 3 grams a day, even though like I think the recommendation is like closer to 5. So I started with 3 grams a day for a week, bumped it up to 4 grams for a week or 2, and then I started on the 5 grams. I've been taking 5 grams a day with 10 ounces of water, throwing it in my Mio, or throwing my Mio in it, and then I take it with my pre-workout food. So I try to pick like the highest carb meal that I have in a day and take it with it, which just usually happens to be my pre-workout. If I'm not lifting that day, I will just pair it with whatever my highest carb meal is. I also like the idea of taking creatine before my workout. Maybe it's a mental thing. I am going to go ahead and just like give a very brief overview of what creatine does. Paul Revelia is kind of like the big guy in charge of my team, which is Team Pro Physique, based out of Florida. He does a phenomenal job at explaining creatine and dosing and all that fun stuff. So I'll absolutely link his video below. His channel is super, super great. He does all of these crazy things, like basically like any kind of myth that you hear in the gym or the fitness industry, he's tried it and shown you like with his own body what it has done. And he does a lot of research. He works with Core Nutritionals, which is another brand that I do recommend. And I'm going to go over the brands I recommend after. But yeah, so creatine basically, in very, very simple terms, increases the amount of energy you're able to utilize during the workout. So you have, you know, energy stores, ATP. ATP is used to break down the glucose, which you use for energy in your workout. So say you're only able to get like 8 to 10 reps of a certain weight, maybe you're able to do a little bit more weight, maybe you're able to get, you know, 10 to 12 reps. So this has definitely changed the game for me as well. I just started taking this a few months ago, and the gains that I have had since my last show are unbelievable. Maybe, you know, it's the post-show gains that are just like, you know, my metabolism and everything is in a great spot. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I never, again, had any GI distress with this, so that's great as well. This is an unflavored, so that's again why I use the Mio. Sometimes I'll put in my vitamin water, or like if I have a Diet Dr. Pepper, I literally did a road trip and had a Diet Dr. Pepper. I put this in there. I'm gonna say it was not good because it was kind of gross. And also, like, I didn't think about it. You have to shake it up to mix it, and it was just a whole thing. So don't mix it with Diet Dr. Pepper. But yeah, so I put this in 10 ounces of water with my Mio drops and eat it with my pre-workout meal. And yeah, I don't really know like if I have anything else to say about creatine, because I am gonna link Paul's video. The one other thing I will say is a lot of these are like, you know, like instant results or instant benefits or whatever, right? Like our protein, we're hitting our protein goal. Greens, great for our digestion. EAAs, great for our, you know, muscle recovery and soreness. Pre-workout, you're feeling that right then. Creatine is something that is going to slowly build up in your system. So you're not going to see anything for the first few days, or maybe even not for the first week, or even notice a difference. This is consistency to adherence. I take this every single day. I do not miss a day, because over time it is building up in your system and you are loading it. And then you're going to start seeing gains in a week, in 3 weeks, in 3 months, whatever. So stay consistent with it, stay on it, and you know, I have seen great results with it, and I stay adherent to it. So that is one thing I will say. And if it's not obvious enough, this would go in my little, like, you know, accessories category. I didn't even start taking it until a couple months ago, and I have had 2 successful bodybuilding seasons without it. So I am excited to see what this coming season goes, and I will kind of, now that it is January, you know, 1st, I have kind of chatted with my coach, you know, here and there. What does it look like? It does look like I will probably be stepping on stage towards the end of this year, so I am very excited about that. Thought I was going to take 2 years off. My body is in great, you know, condition. I have held a pretty good physique. My blood panels came back great out, you know, all the good things. Let's talk a little bit really quick about brands that I do really, really like. So obviously I like Raw Nutrition, but my team does work with Core Nutritionals, which is the brand that I used to take as well, and I used to be a big fan of. The only reason that I switched to Raw, 2 reasons. First of all, I am obviously, because I have my discount code CARE for 10% off, I am an affiliate with Raw. But also, I just hate that I can't get Core Nutritionals in person, physically in a store. I always have to plan, and that drives me nuts with online only brands. Is like, if I run out of a supplement and I didn't realize I was low on, yes, I could turn on auto ship, but it's just like a fun game of like, oh, when is it gonna come in? Oh, they have a lot of orders right now, so now I'm gonna have to wait an extra, especially when I'm trying to stay consistent and I plan my meals or my life around it. If I run out of Raw, I can always, you know, run to the store really quick and pick up some. So I do really like Raw for that, but Core Nutritionals is a fantastic brand. They have a huge, wide variety of things, and my coach's discount code for 10% off is just code Matt, M-A-T-T. So shout out my guy Matt for that. Matt Whites, he is my coach. He is fantastic, and I love him more than life itself. So Matt, if you are watching this, know there is lots of love for you always. Let's see what other brands. I know that there are other great brands like EHP Labs and HD Muscle that a lot of people in the bodybuilding industry take and stand behind. Let's see, what else do I like? Thorne is a great brand as far as like vitamins and micronutrients and stuff goes. I know they have like other stuff, but I know they're like very clean, all that good stuff. I believe it is Dwayne Wade's brand. And the other, it's just like really pricey, to be honest with you. Another one is Revive. That is the other one that Seabaum works with. So Raw and Revive are kind of like, you know, together. My discount code, I don't believe it works on Revive, but if I were to ever switch over my multivitamins and stuff like that, that's more of like the micronutrients and whatnot. So if you're looking for that, and you can get it in physical stores, you can get it online, all of that good stuff. Let me see. I don't know. I don't think there's any other brands that I'm like really big on. It's just Raw, Core Nutritionals, Revive, Thorne. Oh, and All Max. Yeah, my All Max brand for my greens as well that I really, really enjoy. But yeah, so that is it as far as like my supplement rundown goes. I'm always happy to answer any questions. I am a certified personal trainer, but all of my knowledge as far as supplements goes is my own personal use as well as my personal research or things that I have learned from my coach and like where I got my bachelor's degree at Washington State University. I've gone over supplements as well through, I got my bachelor's in kinesiology, so we talk a lot about nutrition and whatnot. But the moment you have all been waiting for, I do have a giveaway for you today, and I want to make sure that you do get everything. You know, I've talked a lot about supplements, so if you want to go ahead and get started, here's my giveaway for you. I'm going to give away a $75 gift card that is more than enough money to buy at least one product from Raw. The like more expensive pre-work or protein powders are like $55, I think. So that like $75 should cover like the protein powder tax and shipping, especially if you use my code. That's gonna make it cheaper as well. And if you want to get like 2 pre-workouts or EAAs and creatine, like you can kind of like build your own little stack that way. I wanted to make sure you at least can fully cover the shipping and one item, but if you want to like get multiple, like you have more than enough. I want to help you go ahead and get started because supplements can be scary and overwhelming and intimidating. Or maybe you're just a homie that already is on supplements and you're just re-upping. You can use Raw, try it out, see if you like it. Again, you can always like, please use my code for support. You get 10% off. And it helps me kind of like put this content out. I would not back anything or recommend anything that I didn't take myself and that I didn't absolutely love. And obviously I love my Raw supplements. So how do you get the $75 gift card? Literally, please just like subscribe and like this video and comment down below what your 2024 goal is. So like I said, my 2024 goal is to decrease my caffeine intake. This is not a huge goal. It is something that is very realistic and attainable. Maybe your 2024 goal is to step on stage. Maybe your 2024 goal is to finally get out of, you know, a dead-end job that you're working and follow your dreams. Maybe your goal is to lose X amount or gain X amount of pounds. You know, your goal can be as big or as small, like it's your goal, and it can also be as like broad in general or as specific as you want. You're like, oh, I want to be at like 15.6% body fat. Like, it is your goal and it is whatever you want, and you can have multiple. I just want to know what you all are, you know, trying to achieve. I'm trying to decrease my caffeine intake. While I do have a lot of other goals for 2024, my most broad one would be like settling into my life. Being completely transparent with you, 2023, basically every single month of the year, something went down. I had relationships that ended, whether that be like romantic or friendship, and you know, all good things. I'm in a very much better spot. I started a new job. I moved to a new city. Like, and also like as far as starting a new job, it wasn't just like a new job. Like I wasn't just like going from personal training gym to personal training gym. I completely changed my lifestyle and my career outlook, and my career path looks so much different. I bought a new car. I've traveled every single month this year, and I've never been big on like traveling. So like my year, this past year, 2023, was insane and came with a lot of different lifestyle changes. So 2024, like the overarching theme is like chill out. So like decreasing my caffeine intake, but also just like settling into my new life with all of the things that happened last year. I want to just, you know, look forward to what 2024 looks like. What does my life look like? Who is Caroline? What does Caroline want? And start shifting into like big picture. So that is my little supplement thing for you. That is how you can enter my giveaway. If you want an extra bonus entry, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, Caroline Silberglet, and I will go ahead and put that down below for you. But without that, that is all I have to say for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all. Thank you so much for all of the support. And I'm so excited to see you all in the new year. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe, all of the fun things, and I will see you next week.